Happiness, like youth and health, is rarely appreciated until it is past. It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation which give happiness. There is no cosmetic for beauty like happiness. The two foes of human happiness are pain and boredom. The discovery of a new dish does more for human happiness than the discovery of a new star. Anything you are good at contributes to happiness. A man's happiness or unhappiness depends as much on his temperament as on his destiny. When one door of happiness closes, another opens, but often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has been opened for us. Man needs for his happiness not only the enjoyment of this or that, but hope and enterprise and change. To be able to throw oneself away for the sake of a moment, to be able to sacrifice years for a woman's smile, that is happiness. If only we'd stop trying to be happy, we could have a pretty good time. The search for happiness is one of the chief sources of unhappiness. The greatest happiness you can have is knowing that you do not necessarily require happiness. Happiness is a mystery, like religion, and should never be rationalized. Knowledge of what is possible is the beginning of happiness. Happiness lies not in the mere possession of money, it lies in the joy of achievement, in the thrill of creative effort. Happiness is a warm puppy. The supreme happiness of life is the conviction that we are loved. A lifetime of happiness. No man alive could bear it. It would be hell on earth. Happiness is speechless. The only really happy folks are married women and single men. He is happy that knoweth not himself to be otherwise. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. In study after study, people themselves report that good relationships with family members, friends, or romantic partners, far more than money or fame, are prerequisites for their happiness. The happiest person is the person who suffers the least pain, the most miserable who enjoys the least pleasure. Happiness makes up in height for what it lacks in length. Happiness is having a large, loving, caring, close-knit family in another city. But oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. It is not easy to find happiness in ourselves, and it is not possible to find it elsewhere. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. Anyone who said sunshine brings happiness has never danced in the rain. Happiness: a good bank account, a good cook, and a good digestion. If happiness is activity in accordance with excellence, it is reasonable that it should be in accordance with the highest excellence. True happiness consists not in the multitude of friends, but in the worth and choice. Thus, happiness depends, as nature shows, less on exterior things than most suppose. The greatest happiness for the thinking man is to have fathomed the fathomable, and to quietly revere the unfathomable. The happiness of life is made up of minute fractions, the little soon forgotten charities of a kiss or smile, a kind look, a heartfelt compliment, and the countless infinitesimals of pleasurable and genial feeling. All human history attests that happiness for man, the hungry sinner, since Eve ate apples, much depends on dinner. There is no more mistaken path to happiness than worldliness, revelry, high life. Life in common among people who love each other is the ideal of happiness. There is only one happiness in life: to love and be loved. To crave for happiness in this world is simply to be possessed by a spirit of revolt. What right have we to happiness? We have no more right to consume happiness without producing it than to consume wealth without producing it. Happiness is the only sanction of life. Where happiness fails, existence remains a mad and lamentable experiment. That is happiness, to be dissolved into something complete and great. Man's happiness in life is the result of man's own effort, and is neither the gift of God nor a spontaneous natural product. How simple and frugal a thing is happiness: a glass of wine, a roast chestnut, a wretched little brazier, the sound of the sea. All that is required to feel that here and now is happiness is a simple, frugal heart. Man always desires to seize more of happiness than rightfully belongs to him. Happiness engulfs our strength, just as misfortune extinguishes our virtues. Virtue is simply happiness, and happiness is a byproduct of function. You are happy when you are functioning. For all the happiness mankind can gain is not in pleasure, but in rest from pain. The greatest obstacle to happiness is the expectation of too great a happiness. Man's happiness does not come from freedom, but in the acceptance of a task. To dream is happiness, to wait is life. I can sympathize with people's pains, but not with their pleasures. There is something curiously boring about somebody else's happiness. Simply seek happiness, and you are not likely to find it. Seek to create and love without regard to your happiness, and you will likely be happy much of the time. In love, happiness is abnormal. Happiness is always a work of art. The least fault distorts it. The least hesitation changes it. A little dullness spoils it. The smallest foolish act makes it idiotic.